When talking about evasion, it's important to know only physical right-click attacks can miss. Unlike armor, gains from evasion are dramatic and non-linear. For instance, 15% evasion equals an 18% increase in effective hit points. 30% evasion gives a 43% increase in EHP. This means 30% evasion gives more than twice the benefit of 15% evasion. There are three sources of evasion: debuffs on the attacker like Ricky's Smoke Cloud or Brewmaster's Drunken Haze, and defensive buffs like Phantom Assassin's Blur and Higher Ground. When an attack occurs, the game first looks at effects on the attacker. If the attacker misses due to a debuff like Drunken Haze, the attack goes no further. If the debuff does not proc, the target's defensive evasion has a chance to dodge the attack. The formula for determining if the attack hits is expressed like so. This is the same way we calculate evasion from higher ground. Targets on higher ground have a 25% chance to dodge attacks from lower ground. This can make the difference between getting or losing a kill. Before 2000 hit points, evasion is not as important as hit points or armor. This means that rushing evasion is not a viable build. After 2000 hit points, however, the benefits of evasion come into their own. At this point, we need to bring up the relatively new mechanic of accuracy. For example, Monkey King Bar now gives you a 75% chance to true strike, down from 100%. This means your attacks have a 75% chance to ignore any evasion or blind effects your target uses. In other words, only 25% of your attacks are eligible to be evaded. A butterfly can evade 35% of the 25% attacks eligible for evasion. If you purchase a Monkey King Bar to counter an enemy with butterfly, your 75% accuracy will bring their effective evasion down to 8.75%, meaning 91.25% of your attacks will hit the target. Let's move on to block. Multiple sources of block are all calculated simultaneously. There are times when none will proc, when one will proc, and when all will proc. In the last case, the largest source of block takes priority. The common way to calculate block stacking is to check for one and check for the next. That is, 50% chance to block from Vanguard, then another 50% from our Stout Shield to block the attacks that Vanguard didn't. Actually, the true way to calculate it is the sum chance of both proccing minus the chance of both not proccing, but it results in the same number anyway. Bottom line, stacking block is not an effective way to increase your EHP. Let's go over some of the finer details of blocking. Block takes place before armor reduction. This means, as damage per hit increases, block loses its value as the game progresses. In the early game, if the damage is low enough, block can reduce incoming damage to 0. These 0 damage hits will still proc positive spells like Counter Helix, however. Let's summarize your priorities for each stage in the game. Block for early game, hit points and armor for mid-game, and evasion for late game. On a side note, it is worthwhile taking 1 point in an evasion spell early in the game. Now you understand how evasion, block, and accuracy works in Dota 2. If you found this guide useful, feel free to check out other guides on Tinker and Dark Willow, as well as our examination on the mechanics of armor and spell efficiency. There are more guides on the way, so please hit the like, subscribe, and bell buttons to get notified as soon as they're up. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.